Yo, you gotta check this out. Some kid just... What are you doing? What's that right there?
Just my New Year's resolutions. Wanna see?
Yeah, sure, I'll take a look. Well, shit. Oh man, I have a feeling this one's gonna get controversial. Even if no one else out there agrees with this take, I've never liked New Year's resolutions. I remember when I was in middle school and my teachers would always make everyone in the class write down a list of New Year's resolutions after coming back from Christmas break. I'd always put some half-assed get good grades or do well in school and then immediately forget whatever I wrote the second the day ended. I guess I never understood the point of making these resolutions. Like, why would I use the start of a new year to excuse my past shitty habits only to say, no, well, this year's going to be different, to then resume those same shitty habits 2 weeks later. It's interesting how you always hear about people's resolutions for the first 2, maybe 3 weeks of the new year, only to never hear them mentioned the rest of the year. I guarantee that if you ask someone in July how their New Year's resolution is going, they're not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. They'll first attempt to remember what that resolution even was, and then they'll give a series of excuses as to why it hasn't happened yet. Why they're halfway through the year and that resolution hasn't even been started on. It's no wonder we feel as if every year is shittier than the last. It's because we don't know how to set reasonable, achievable goals for ourselves that we'll actually strive towards. One of the main reasons why New Year's resolutions are so stupid is the fact that we use them as an excuse to justify our own laziness and procrastination. What I mean by this is, let's say it's late into the year, November, December, and we haven't accomplished what we wanted to. So at this point, we're 10 months into the year, we might as well say, oh, well, I'll wait till the new year, I'll make a resolution at the new year. Once the new year starts, I'll hit the gym every single day. So why the fuck are you not just doing that now? Why the fuck are you waiting for the new year to save you? And then when the new year does come, it still doesn't matter. It's basic human instinct to procrastinate. I get that. We want to push things off, wait for them to come later. We don't want to deal with that stress now. It's too much on our plate. But how is the new year gonna fix that? Just because the number has gone up in years doesn't mean you're any different. You're still gonna be the same person that doesn't take initiative and doesn't plan out these goals for yourself. We all, or most of us, I would say, have a desire to want to improve. And that's great, but it's not the same as actually improving. It's not the same as actually showing up and putting that work in. Successful people are not waiting until the new year to get stuff done. While you sit inside feeling pity for your failures or your inability to be the person you've always wanted to be, others are getting after it. Resolutions offer a temporary escape, a fraudulent promise given by yourself to yourself, only to be completely ignored. Because quite frankly, it just being the new year doesn't mean shit. New year, new me is complete bullshit. I don't care that the clock has suddenly struck midnight, you're the same goddamn lazy person. You have not changed one bit. And now suddenly, because it's the new year, you think you can become this ultimate version of yourself. You think you're gonna reach nirvana and become a spiritual warlord. You will tell yourself to feel better, solely to feel better, that you will put in the work this year, that you will be the best version of yourself. So you make a resolution, you write it down on paper, and suddenly, nothing changes. Listen, with New Year's resolutions, these goals we set for ourselves are often unrealistic and it causes us to give up easily. We're not just gonna flip our lives around just like that, it takes time, it takes effort. But because we feel like it's too much work all at once, we get in this cycle of giving up over and over again. Even those adamant about their resolutions and accomplishing them will often find themselves in these cycles. Why? It's because most New Year's resolutions lack any substance. Sure, you've set a goal for yourself and you might have a general time frame as to when you're going to achieve it, but what are the detailed steps you need to do to actually make it happen? We tend to so often forget about those things. I mean, anyone can set a half-assed generic goal and never follow through with it. I think New Year's resolutions are so appealing in this way because there's no strings attached. oh, I fucked up on my New Year's resolution again? Oh well, there's always next year. So over and over we go through this cycle of setting resolutions for ourselves, while still never actually growing as a person. And we wonder why we continue to fall short of where we believe we should be in life. Just because New Year's resolutions are dumb doesn't mean you can't set actual achievable goals for yourself. And I'll explain how. How many of you watching this video have already broken or given up on your New Year's resolutions? Yeah, all of you. That's what I thought. But in all seriousness, there is a better way to set goals for yourself than making some corny New Year's resolutions, and I'm gonna go over exactly how to do that. I don't know about you guys, but in the US school system, we learned something called SMART goals. It was an acronym. The S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time-bound. Now, as corny as this sounds, and it was pushed on us a hell of a lot more than it needed to be, it's kind of the best way to set goals. With New Year's resolutions, you'll say something like, get in shape, or lose some weight, or get better grades, like I used to say. But the problem with those types of goals is they lack any sort of intricacy. They're a pretty face with an ugly personality. Real goals, however, if set correctly, give a rigid outline and structure on how exactly to achieve these things. Here's an example. Let's say you set a resolution to lose weight this year. Okay, that's a start. It's generic and needs some polishing, but at least you have a rough idea of what you want. Now, to actually make this goal attainable, you can implement a strategy on how. You want to lose weight this year. How are you going to do that? Well, by going into a calorie deficit, by burning more calories than you consume. Okay, well, how exactly are you going to do that? How about going to the gym to start? If you already go to the gym, maybe add 30 minutes cardio after every session. Now do that for a good couple months and see what kind of progress you make. If you make no progress, maybe reevaluate the goal, switch some things up. Switch up your diet, maybe what kind of cardio you do. Keep fine-tuning and switching things around that will help you get to that goal. Listen, the year has just started, so forget those garbage resolutions and set some real attainable goals for yourself. You have all year to reach it. Think about where you could be this time next year if you just put in the fucking work. Despite the title of this video, New Year's resolutions aren't all bad. I'm glad we could come together as a society and mutually agree that we should be setting goals for ourselves and that we should try to improve throughout the year. While the idea is great on paper, the execution never really happens. And that's because resolutions hinder our overall success by providing unrealistic expectations in a limited time frame and preying on our brain's natural tendency to procrastinate. New Year's resolutions do more harm than good to us. It's best for you and your ideal future self to stop making them and to set real goals instead. Anything limiting you or I's potential sounds pretty dumb to me.
I hope it's not